Welcome back to Lions Nation Unite. I'm your boy Eazy. Do me the biggest favor in the world right now and smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share the video because today we're talking about Detroit Lions football. I'm not in the sense of like hypotheticals of training camp and what's going to happen in the future. What do we need? Maybe some of that stuff may come into the fray. But what I'm talking about today specifically is the fact, unless the world crumbles, that in 22 days, as the time of the recording of this video, we will be able to watch Detroit Lions football. 22 days. I saw a lot of you fans out there on Twitter sphere can't get the season tickets. Not season tickets, I apologize. The training camp tickets. Season ticket holders can't get training camp tickets. And that is very unfortunate. However, you do get to watch this team play football. Who cares about training camp at this point? And I'm here to talk about the things I am most excited to see out of the Detroit Lions preseason game this year in the Hall of Fame game against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. This is actually like typically your preseason's kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. Like you are excited for it. It's like that first dip into the water until you fully dive into the football season, the NFL season, I should say specifically. It's time. It's actually kind of exciting. We have a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys on this team that are beyond unproven. Like we don't even know if they'll be NFL players, like Sione Vaki, going from safety to running back. Now I think he will be an NFL player. Let me get that out of the way right now. But it's a position change. We got to see how he's going to fit in the NFL. We get to see him get reps in the Hall of Fame game. That's a guy you gave up a third-round pick to go grab, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was another fourth-round pick. I know a guy you gave. Oh, that's who you gave it to give a third-round pick. Another guy, we don't know if he's an NFL player. It's crazy that I sound excited about this. I am excited about this. Typically, like old school Lions fandom and me would be pissed off about these things. I can't wait. Giovanni Manu. This guy played in British Columbia, of all places. Yeah, I'm excited to watch him play some football on 22 days in the Hall of Fame game. There's plenty of guys like that. Isaac Tesla. And what we're doing today is going over that list. The things that I'm most excited to see during the Detroit Lions Hall of Fame game, where I'm going to be locked in. And number one for me, if you guys watch these videos quite frequently, you won't be surprised with this answer. It is the offensive line. I think the offensive line is the key to everything the Detroit Lions do offensively. They have been for the past several years. I think you've heard the players talk about it. We've heard the coaches talk about it. I know for a fact I've heard Ben Johnson speak about it. I've had the opportunity to speak to players, and they're kind of concerned about the offensive line. Like, it's not a concern like, oh, my, what are we going to do? It's just you got to see it. And in the Hall of Fame game, we will finally see it. We will get to see Tate Ratledge playing center for the first time. We'll see Tate Ratledge playing football in the NFL for the first time. We'll get to see Miles Frazier. Where is he going to play? Is it going to be guard? I think him a shot at center. Like, he's kind of played every single other position along the side of the offensive line. It's kind of curious why he's not your center, but it is what it is. We can see those guys play together. How's their chemistry together? How do who is where? You know, Giovanni Manu already mentioned that one too, part of that offensive line. We get to see that in action, and I know it's the preseason. I know of a good friend who had an overreaction to a preseason offensive lineman. It was Penei Sewell, and it was a very bad one. All right, we're going to forgive him for that one. I'm going to bring up his name. Love him, though. But we get to see this offensive line in action, and what I'm looking forward to, I guess, of any strong takeaways, is running the football. Because that's where my faith is with these younger guys. I think regardless of who it is, regardless of the experience, I think with Penei Sewell, and I think Tate Ratledge probably end up on the right side of the line this year. Graham Glasgow probably end up your center. Your left guard probably going to be in Christian Mahogany. I think the right side combination between Tate Ratledge and Penei Sewell will allow you to run the damn heck out of the football. I'm just trying not to say crazy words because that's how passionately I feel about it. Tate Ratledge and Penei Sewell as run blocking offensive linemen in the National Football League with Jahmyr Gibbs can be something special. Straight up. I've never denied that. I think every time I've talked about these rookies, I've said, hey, these guys are going to be, at least be able to run the ball. We get to see that. Speaking of running the ball, the guy running the ball behind those two gentlemen, Sione Vaki. You're not going to have Jahmyr Gibbs in the Hall of Fame game. You're not going to have David Montgomery in the Hall of Fame game. You are going to have Sione Vaki in the Hall of Fame game, a guy who moved from safety to the running back position, and now we get to see him with some carries. We saw a lot of them last year. In fact, I believe he averaged the most yards per carry out of the running backs in the preseason. Unless I'm forgetting somebody who had just like one big game, but like on a natural reoccurrence, like it was Sione Vaki kind of looked special. My guy is Dosa Dion taught me a phenomenal word that I abuse now. Hyphen word, maybe contact balance. I think Sione Vaki's got it in droves. I think he's got, if I'm ranking that thing at 99, I'm probably cranking it up to 80. Like Sione Vaki, you have to wrap him up to bring him down. I think he actually, like Brad Holmes, he's just, and it's beyond Brad Holmes. I wish I knew the names of the scouts. They're phenomenal what they do because Sione Vaki moving him to running back was like a ballsy move, but he looks phenomenal. I thought he looked phenomenal. And then you get to see him behind that offensive line specifically. Now, again, it's going to be a vanilla scheme. The defense is going to be playing vanilla, but these are NFL bodies. An example, Giovanni Manu. We played at British Columbia. He didn't play NFL bodies. He played high schoolers. It felt like watching that tape. It was bad. The level of competition, not him. And so I get to see him against a guy that at least was good enough to have an audition to be an NFL player, right? So I want to see them, to be honest with you, I want to see them topple over these defensive linemen. I want to see them clear lanes. I want to see my guy, Tate Ratledge, down the field. I want to see Miles Frazier in pass protection. And actually, I actually am fairly confident in Miles Frazier as a pass protector. I want to see Miles Frazier as a run blocker. So let me keep that topic there. I want to see those guys and their chemistry in front of our guy, Sione Vaki. I want to say Sione Vaki, you know what I'm saying, getting freaky with it. Because I really do think he has the potential to be, I don't know about special, but for sure something a third down back. And then I don't know if this guy, he's probably going to have to play is Craig Reynolds. And this is a weird, uncomfortable conversation coming up about Craig Reynolds because he's almost like a folk hero at this point. Like he had the big block in the Tampa Bay game. I know that a touchdown. In the playoff Tampa Bay game as well. He just owns Tampa Bay, I guess. But he Netflix, you know what I'm saying? He has lore behind him. We've watched him, I guess, flourish from the opportunity he was given, I think, at 22. And then he's fighting for his job right now because Sione Vaki is a guy they drafted to play that position. And the running back position doesn't last very long. The NFL doesn't quite really value that on a grand scheme. That's why they don't get paid a ton of money unless you're the Saquon Barkleys of the world. It's going to be a competition between Sione Vaki and Craig Reynolds for running back 3, in my humble opinion. I think Craig probably holds the advantage right now just because he's played the position longer and he blocks really well and he's just willing to sacrifice his body because he knows what his role is on this team at this point. He's not going to start over Jahmyr Gibbs. He's not going to start over David Montgomery. So he plays his role. He plays special teams really well too. I'm looking forward to seeing that running back competition in that one. I want to see Sione Vaki come out a little bit on top, if I'm being honest with you. Is that bad of me? I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know. But I want to see Sione Vaki in action behind this young offensive line, these young offensive line pieces in action. And then beyond that, wide receiver Isaac Tesla. There wasn't a more controversial draft pick in Brad Holmes' tenure, in my opinion, than when he gave up 3 first. I'm sorry, not first. Let me relax. 3 third-round picks to move up in the 3rd round. And then he drafted Isaac Tesla with that pick, a position that you would look at the Detroit Lions team and you wouldn't really say it was a need, as put. Maybe in the future, yes, Tim Patrick's getting kind of old. He may have another stellar season, might want to actually get a bag from somewhere versus just trying to win a championship here. Khalif Raymond, obviously he's getting up there too, but all pro caliber at kick returning, punt returning. I don't think his job's threatened at all this year. I know my boy Spinny thinks Dominic Lovett might push him a little bit. Just no way in hell a rookie's coming in and pushing an all-pro guy, in my opinion. Maybe he does. Who knows? But yeah, Isaac Tesla. And it might sound weird, and maybe this is like a me thing. I want to see Isaac Tesla blocking. That's what caught Brad Holmes' eye. And then he went back to the tape, and then he went back to the numbers and kind of, I guess, confirmed that he was also a good wide receiver as well. But that is one of the first traits that I noticed about Amon-Ra St. Brown with his rookie year. That's one of the first traits that Brad Holmes noticed about Amon-Ra St. Brown when they drafted him, when they're scouting him. Weirdly enough, I want to see Isaac Tesla block. And I honestly, for Giovanni, I'm sorry, not Giovanni Manu, Sione Vaki. I think that'd be phenomenal to see. And obviously, yeah, see him catch some balls too. But again, they're vanilla offenses. I don't want to take away too much from that. But those three things in particular for me are some of the things I'm most excited to see. Again, at the time of this recording, in 22 days, we get to watch Detroit Lions football. And it's not, listen, I know we have fans nationwide, one pride worldwide. I recognize it. I know that. But we're also playing Jim Harbaugh, who I know a lot of you guys are Michigan fans as well. And if you're not a Michigan fan, I'm not necessarily a Michigan fan. I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. So Dan Campbell versus Jim Harbaugh is absolute cinema for me, even though it isn't a preseason action. I'm all about that. Let's move over to the defensive line. The defense side of the ball is what I meant to say there. But if you guys have any comments on the offense, what you want to see from the Detroit Lions in that preseason game, let me know down below because I don't want to miss a beat. I'm gonna be hawking this thing. I'm gonna be a sicko that's rewatching this thing time and time over and over again. Move over to the defense side of the ball, though. You know what I want to see? I think you all want to see it, and it's our guy, Hamid Hassanin. The rookies will be reporting in training camp this month on June 16th. And then, yeah, then you have the Hall of Fame game. And you want to see what Hamid Hassanin is because as much as maybe I can't say me, much as I have faith in a healthy Marcus Davenport, we maybe all be lacking in faith that he remains healthy, and I think that's completely fair. So Ahmed Hassanin may probably be a guy that's a candidate to fulfill some snaps there. I want to see Ahmed Hassanin in action. I really do. And shout out to Corey Best as well. Like, I think Ahmed has a very, very special mindset. I was talking to Terry on actually, and I was like, this is like a team full of Kobe's. Like, all you guys are go getters. All you guys are grinders. All you guys aren't satisfied. Ahmed Hassanin is like a shining example of that. If you want to talk about it from like his life, I mean, moving from Egypt to America, not knowing English fluently enough to even speak it, and now you're becoming an NFL player. Like his drive, his motivation. I want to see what he's been able to absorb just from his mini camps to training camp and how he is able to apply that because he's also like a CrossFit guy. Like he was a CrossFit guy, like nationally ranked in Egypt, yes, but nationally ranked CrossFit guy. The thing that piques my interest in that is in CrossFit, you are learning to use all parts of your body. I think in some ways it does make you more athletic to where if you are being coached to do certain things, you might pick them up easier. That's just a philosophy of mine. I could be completely wrong on that, but I think it could be. I think that could come to fruition. I want to see Ahmed Hassanin getting after the quarterback straight up. I don't think it's going to be Justin Herbert. I have no clue who their backup is, but I would like to see some Ahmed Hassanin. In the secondary, I've gone out there on a limb, and I've been pumping up the Ennis Rakestraw hype train, kind of heavy, at least heavier than other folks in media right now. I am an Ennis Rakestraw guy. I wasn't going into the draft, but then I saw him at camp. And I saw him against the Giants. And yeah, another situation where you're looking at vanilla defense versus vanilla offense. But if you are Malik Neighbors in that situation last year in the first preseason game, a rookie who you believe you're the best wide receiver in that draft class, and you weren't taken as the best wide receiver in the draft class, you look the second. You're going to be trying your ass off. Not, mind you, let me put some context in there too. Mind you, they were fighting the entirety of those joint practices. I mean, Kirby Joseph went viral for having like Canelo hands. I mean, this guy can box. Like there was a lot of animosity between the wide receiver group specifically and the secondary group. A bingo, another one too. And it's Rakestraw. You felt you were going to have to be a first round pick. Like you were kind of talked about being a first round pick. That wasn't the case. You went in the second round. So in that matchup, in last year, when I saw those reps between Ennis Rakestraw and Malik Neighbors, I had some value in that because I think it was a little bit more than vanilla schemes versus vanilla schemes as these guys trying to prove themselves, living their dreams. And yes, I meant for that to rhyme. You had the like button. This year, not that type of animosity, but I mean, it is a Jim Harbaugh-led team versus Dan Campbell-led team, and you're probably going to get some, you know what I'm saying, the Bucks going to be knucking, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you right there. But I'm excited to see Ennis Rakestraw. I want to see him get his hands on some balls, maybe some interceptions if the ball goes his way, because he may be good enough where the ball don't go his way, and I'll be just as fine with that one too. The other situation on the defensive side is the safety room. Outside of Maurice Norris, that's his real name, folks. I know we call him Morris Norris for fun, but Dan Jackson, another guy. Like you don't walk onto a Kirby Smart team who's known for his defense at Georgia, and start there, captain there, unless you're an absolute dog, no pun intended. Georgia Dogs, Georgia Bulldogs. Dan Jackson did that at the safety position. Not a big guy, not an uber athletic guy, just a smart guy. And I think that's why you see a lot of these safeties play a long, long time. I think it's why you see some of these cornerbacks convert to safeties and they extend their career a long, long time. I want to see what Brad saw in Dan Jackson. Matter of fact, I saw what Dan saw, what Brad saw. That's getting crazy. I saw what Brad Holmes seen and Dan Jackson in the tape. I want to see it at the NFL level. And you know what? I'll throw Dominic Lovett in there. I know we're going back to the offensive side of the ball, but I mentioned him a little bit earlier. Spinney said that he could see him pushing for Cleve Raymond's job this season. All right, show me something, young fella. I'd like to see it because I got to be honest with you. We're talking about young kick returners. That might be Sonny Vaki's role just because he could play it defensively just as well as he could play it offensively. And Dominique might be a little bit faster, but yeah, I think for the first time in a long time, outside of Aiden Hutchinson's rookie year, preseason is very, very exciting. And if I'm a sicko, let me know down below in the comment section. You guys got to feel the same way. I mean, again, Dan Campbell and Jim Harbaugh coach teams aren't just going to come soft here. They're going to be going pretty hard. Lots of guys in Detroit Lions got stuff to prove, and I'm here for it. These are the things I'm most looking forward to in the Detroit Lions Hall of Fame game that they play this month. In less than 30 days, you will be watching the Detroit Lions on an NFL field, the Hall of Fame NFL field. So you get to see some introductions there too. But that is it for me. Comment down below what you guys would like us to cover next. I will be also actually, I'm going to leave that one for a secret. You stay tuned for that one. But thank you guys. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. Until next time, I'm out.